Apically displaced flap. Can you imagine a type of flap surgery that can reduce pocket depth and increase the width of attached gingiva at the same time? That is the power of apically displaced flap. When and why we use it, step-by-step surgical procedure, and clinical advantages and tips. What is an apically displaced flap? It is a mucoperiosteal flap that is repositioned apically instead of returning to its original position. The goal is to reduce periodontal pocket depth, to increase the width of attached gingiva, and preserve the gingival margin at an apical level. The concept here is that the flap is moved apically to convert the pocket epithelium into the attached gingiva. So apically displaced flap was introduced by Friedman in 1962. The objectives are to eradicate the pocket, to increase the width of attached gingiva, or both. It is performed in a full thickness flap or a split thickness flap procedure. Split thickness flap requires more precision and presence of thick gingiva to split. However, split thickness flap allows more precise positioning and suturing in the apical position. So what are the indications of apically displaced flap? It is indicated in moderate to deep periodontal pockets with inadequate width of attached gingiva, when there is a need for pocket elimination without bone removal, crown lengthening with inadequate width of attached gingiva, and as an access flap surgery with gingival repositioning in an apical position. So apically displaced flap is both a resective and a mucogingival procedure. What are the benefits of apically displaced flap? It preserves the outer portion of the pocket wall and converts it into attached gingiva. There is a double objective of pocket elimination as well as increasing the width of attached gingiva. Other conditions where apically displaced flap is indicated is in presence of advanced osseous involvement where bone contouring may be needed. However, it can lead to a resultant root exposure. Hence, clinician must educate the patient before the therapy about the possibility of aesthetic compromises due to the recession of gingival tissue. Contraindications for apically displaced flap are shallow vestibule, poor plaque control, high aesthetic demand especially in the anterior regions, and presence of thin gingival biotype. So what is the rationale of apically displaced flap? Why does apically displaced flap work? The pocket epithelium is eliminated, junctional epithelium reforms at a more apical level, and gingival margin becomes stable and allows for better oral hygiene. This allows for long-term periodontal maintenance. So the armamentarium required for apically displaced flap is a number 15C or 15 blade with a beeper handle, periosteal elevator, Orban's knife, periodontal curettes and scalers, tissue forceps, needle holders, and sutures. It is important to maintain asepsis and precise blade control during the surgery. So the step-by-step surgical procedure of apically displaced flap includes step 1, which is first incision or the internal bevel incision. A scalloped incision from the gingival margin is made down to the crest of the bone using a 15 or 15C blade. This is performed parallel to the long axis of the tooth. Where keratinized tissue is limited, the internal bevel incision must be made closer to or at the gingival margin. The first incision can be given close to the gingival margin or at the gingival margin. The left side image represents the incision given close to the gingival margin, whereas the right side image depicts incision at the gingival margin. Second step involves vertical incision. Incisions are made extending beyond the mucogingival junction. Incisions reach past the mucogingival junction to provide adequate mobility to the flap for its apical displacement. Vertical incisions can be used in pocket reduction in deep pockets, crown lengthening, increasing zone of attached gingiva, canine exposure with inadequate width of attached gingiva. They can be avoided in shallow periodontal pockets and only sulcular incision can be used. Step 3 involves flap reflection. A full thickness or partial thickness flap can be reflected, depending on the gingival thickness and the objective of the surgery. Cases where you do not need osseous reduction, partial thickness flap can be applied. So after the first incision, the flap can be reflected as a partial thickness or full thickness. In partial thickness flap, the periosteum along with some portion of connective tissue is retained over the alveolar bone, whereas in full thickness flap, the alveolar bone is exposed by reflecting the mucoperiosteum. Full thickness flap surgery is used in osseous resective or bone reduction surgery. Partial thickness flap is used in mucogingival surgeries to increase the width of attached gingiva. It can also be used to eliminate pocket without the need for osseous or bone reduction. The fourth step involves the crevicular and the interdental incisions. The crevicular incision is directed from the bottom of the pocket up to the crest of the alveolar bone. A 15 or 15C blade is used. Even a 12 number blade can be used for the sulcular incision. This separates the remaining pocket lining from the tooth, allowing it to be easily removed later. Interdental incision is the third incision, which is made in horizontal direction along the alveolar crest to detach the gingival collar from the bone and the tooth. An Orban's knife or a scalpel can be used between the teeth. At this point, the collar of inflamed tissue is completely excised. Step 5 involves root debridement and osseous reduction. At this stage, meticulous scaling and root planing is performed using subgingival scalers and curettes. Removal of all calculous, endotoxin contaminated cementum and inflamed granulation tissue from the bone and root is done. Osseous surgery can be performed if needed. Step 6 involves flap adaptation and suturing. The flap is repositioned apical to its original position. If full thickness flap is reflected, an independent sling suture is placed. Flap is positioned at the alveolar crest and a surgical dressing is given. This is how a sling suture is performed. If partial thickness flap is reflected, independent sling sutures are given. Stabilization is done with periosteal sutures and a surgical dressing is placed. The closer the contact, the better is the healing. Post-operative care involves use of analgesic and mild antiseptic mouth rinse like chlorhexidine. Patient is suggested to avoid brushing at the operated site for 7 to 10 days. After 1 week, dressings and sutures are removed. Area is repacked for another week. Brushing is initiated with soft toothbrush after 1 more week, and interdental cleaning with interdental brush is advised. Healing and outcome after apically displaced flap involves soft tissue repair. Healing occurs by reattachment of the flap to the alveolar bone with formation of new connective tissue and epithelium. This provides a stable attachment and reduction in pocket depth. So, healing outcome involves reduced pocket depth and increased width of attached gingiva. This is assessed at about 6 to 8 weeks after the surgery. Clinical tips in apically displaced flap involves maintaining sharp blades for clean incisions, requirement of surgical skills that can manage performing split thickness flap, precise apical position by giving periosteal sutures, and use of microsurgical sutures for better adaptation, along with gentle but thorough root planing. So to summarize, apically displaced flap is a periodontal flap surgery which is aimed at gaining width of attached gingiva, pocket elimination, or both. It is advised in moderate and deep periodontal pockets, resective osseous surgery, crown landing procedures. Steps involves internal bevel incision, vertical incision, flap reflection, interdental incision, root debridement and osseous reduction if required, flap adaptation and suturing. Assessment of healing is done after 6 to 8 weeks. You can find the link to MCQs for this topic in the description of the video. We hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel and hit for notification bell for update on new videos. Thank you.